Hey Roy, hey Valerie, hey Ken. We're gonna give it a couple more minutes. I'm going to get into something, a pretty good word. I don't got a lot of time tonight, but I wanted to hop on here. I have a lot of evening calls the rest of the week, so I'm not going to be able to get on. So today I had an opportunity, so I took it. So how's everybody's night going? I'm glad to hear that, Roy. So I don't know if you guys joined. I have a new YouTube channel that God wants me to help you guys with. It's going to be confidence, good habits. Um, I'm not sure why he wants me to share a lot of like what I eat to get a lot of high protein meals in. So anybody that's on here, if that is what you're interested in, I don't even remember honestly what my username was again, guys. But God, like, for whatever reason, wants me to be doing this. He gave one of my clients a vision and was telling me to do it. So I was obedient. Not sure really what the reason is, but apparently people must need help. And it is weird because a lot of my clients I've been talking to, I didn't realize how much help they needed. Okay, so the new YouTube channel to be able to get, like, I guess, confidence, high protein meals, you know, health, nutrition, all, like, a little bit of it all. Um, the username is Megan Ayala 0112, and it's just under Megan Ayala. And also you can click the link in the community page for my YouTube channel that you're on right now. You can click the link in the community post. So all you have to do is I've linked it. You just have to click it. So if you want any of that stuff, like miscellaneous stuff, like women that want to feel better about themselves, like things that can make them feel better, because this is very important on this journey. A lot of people lose their self on this journey. They stop taking care of their self. They become so rejected. They become so insecure, okay, because of what their husbands or wives have done to them, that they stop taking care of themselves. Or like maybe they might be taking care of themselves, but they don't feel confident. So this is going to be kind of like what that page is about. So I'm going to keep them separate. So like that's going to be all of that. I'm surprised that people are subscribing the way they are. Like I guess a lot of people need help. So God was true to what he said on Sunday. He used my client to confirm it. So yeah, so if you want to subscribe to that channel, it's not going to be marriage based. It's only going to be standing on the promises of God, nutrition, cooking, confidence, beauty tips. I'm going to be doing some probably cooking live videos to help people know like what they can eat and things like that. And health related. Something that a lot of people struggle with on this journey is health. Okay, and maybe you're dealing with that right now. I'm glad, daughter of Christ. What's your name, sweetheart? Also, so what was I gonna say? I remember when I was going through, I got, health problems. And I remember like I couldn't find anybody to listen to pertaining to what I was going through. because they, of course, just look at it like it's all health. It's not spiritual, nothing else behind it. And I was having such a hard time because I couldn't find anybody that was Christian that understood any of it. I couldn't find, any content on what to do about it. So this is what that's going to be. There was nobody on there, talking about that. There was nobody on there talking about how to make yourself get out of that mindset of feeling rejected and be confident. So that's what that all is going to be. So there's 3 videos up already, okay? And I hope you guys enjoy. Now, I am going to now get into my notes. Okay, so the Alva, go to my community post page, okay? Just go to the page, like we're on this channel, where I post, like it's like the community, and it's linked. All you have to do is just click it. So I have 3 videos up so far. Okay. It's going to be hard though, guys. So now I hope that you guys kind of understand that I got this now to do. I got this channel to do. I got 2 Facebook groups. Okay. So I got I told you the Facebook group that was first. It's called Redeeming the Broken. I switched the name today. It was Come All Who Are Broken. Okay, good. I have those 2 Facebook groups to do, the Dead Marriages, and I have the Redeeming the Broken one, which used to be Come All Who Are Broken. And I got 2 email addresses to get back to people, because there's people that I coach that I'm not coaching them on marriage, because I have a bunch of other to talk to. So I got a lot more on my plate. Now my coach wants me to help her out now, filming videos and all that different stuff. So I got a lot on my plate. And then obviously, I have other things to do outside of all this. So be patient with me. That's all I ask. Okay, so we're going to talk about what God does in this journey. So a lot of you have probably never heard of this, but in this journey, there is going to be full circle restoration. Now, a lot of people, when they think of restoration, it's always marriage restoration, okay? And that's not what he's going to be doing. It's not just going to be restoration of your marriage. It's going to be restoration of many things, okay? So does anybody want to take a guess at what he is going to restore during this journey? Well, I'm going to have to take my computer in, guys. It's giving me trouble. Okay, so yeah, he's going to restore relationships, okay? So that's definitely one of them. It's going to be not just relationships pertaining to marriage. It's going to be relationships he's going to restore. He is going to restore you back to Christ. Yes, it's going to be full circle restoration. Okay? So he's going to restore you back to Christ. He's going to restore you with relationships. I actually misread what you said, Ken. He's going to restore relationships in your life with people that maybe, there was a lot of issues with the person. Maybe like parents, cousins, siblings, friends. He's going to restore relationships. He's going to restore your body back to Christ. He's going to restore your finances back to Christ. He's going to restore your health to Christ. He's going to deliver you through Christ. So it's not going to just be your marriage, okay? There's going to be full circle restoration. So when we talk about you being restored back to Christ, that's going to be you now having your identity instead of your marriage or other things. Your identity now is going to be in him. It's going to be rooted in him. This is why your marriage has to die all the way to the core. That's why that has to happen. So, now, pertaining to finances, a lot of you probably get hit with your finances in this journey because he wants you to trust him as your provider, not your job. He doesn't want you to trust man, okay, pertaining to a paycheck. He wants you to look at him as provider, the way he talks about like the birds. Like, doesn't he provide for the birds? You know, isn't your life more meaningful than a bird, you know? Like it says in scripture. So finances usually get hit, and we have to be able to trust him in that difficult time. Because when you are going through it, it's not always the easiest. I'll be the first one to admit that it's not always the easiest, but you have to trust him no matter what. Because if he allowed it to happen, it's for a reason. Remember that. If he allowed it to happen, it's for a reason. So anything that happens on this journey, remember, none of it can happen unless he allowed it. That right there is going to help you out with that mindset right there. So now let's take the health. The health, you know, I experienced all this on here, but the health gets hit. And I remember that was a huge shock. It was devastating because, like, we take our health for granted. And this is one of the things that he wants me to teach you guys. And that's going to be on that other channel. But we neglect ourselves in this journey. Okay? You are neglecting your body, which is the temple he gave you. And then we end up wondering why the enemy can come in and cause havoc on our health. He never intended us to eat a bunch of processed garbage at the store, drive-thrus. Like, think about this. Like, people will blame God for things, but yet I remember he said to me when I was in the health crisis, why do you want to eat the foods that didn't come from me? You know, and I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, God, I didn't look at it that way. And like when you look at like what Jesus ate, okay, in The Chosen, Jesus did not eat garbage. He was sitting, you know, and we obviously know this anyway. You know, like they say the type of bread he ate and everything, like Ezekiel bread at the store. I'm sure you guys all have heard of it. He, you know, ate fruits, berries, you know, things that were good for you. You know, his carbs didn't come from a bunch of rice and potatoes and tons of carbs and Chinese food. You know, I'm telling you guys all this because we wonder why, like, a lot of us don't even feel our best, okay, or end up getting sick because he never intended us to mistreat our bodies. Okay, so I want to make that clear. So in the health, he's going to restore your health. Okay, because he will allow certain things to take place as almost like, I don't know, I don't want to misword it. He will allow things to take place, okay, to teach us a lesson. Not like teach us a lesson as in get even with us, but he teaches through that, okay? So like, when I went through health problems, I was really mistreating my body. It wasn't God's fault. Now, at first, I got upset about it, and I was mad at God. But then I realized I wasn't taking care of my body. I mean, I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't, like, giving my body proper rest. I was eating garbage. I was starving my body, over-exercising my body, drinking tons of caffeine. And I wondered why my body was giving out on me. It wasn't God. And then also, if you want to look at the spiritual side, the enemy will send attacks your way. Teaching a lesson is like fighting in the bathtub and eating the bubbles when they come up. Oh, thanks, Laura. I love you so much. I'm not sure what Johnny meant, but anyway, so he will show us, you know, the consequences to our actions. And this is what he does with the spouses too, I told you. He will allow them to have, you know, a taste of the life they chose. Okay, so like for instance, when I had an eating disorder, he let me. He let me do that to my body. He let me do that for a good while. And all the things I was doing, I ended up now reaping. So I was talking to a client today about this. We all, not just prodigals, we all will reap the seeds that we sowed. So if you sow bad seeds into your health, eventually it's going to come and bite you in the rear end. If you sow bad seeds of, mismanaging money and getting into a lot of debt, you're going to reap debt. Okay. I'm trying to explain this. Like a lot of these things that we go through, okay, if you put your identity in other things other than Christ, that will turn on you one of these days. And then you will see that putting your identity in other things actually was, the wrong decision. God will show you, okay, where are they now? Where is this now? Okay, maybe it was something that you bought and it broke. Does that make sense? When you put your identity in things that are contemporary or temporary, it's not going to get you anywhere. So everything on here for Full Circle Restoration is going to be a lesson learned. We sowed seeds into things that did not help us. Okay, does this make sense, everybody? I don't have much time, but I wanted to make sure that this made sense. Good. I'm so sleepy, guys. Oh, man, I can't wait to go to sleep. So I guess now that I got that out for Full Circle Restoration, now we will do a Q&A for a few minutes, and then I am going to hop off here. Does anybody have any questions? Good, Valerie. I'm so, what's the word for it? Tired out, and then my computer doing what it's doing. I'm telling you. The enemy just don't stop. But I'm taking it to Staples at some point. I don't even have time, but I'll have to do it. Yes, it does have stages, Rose. There are stages to the whole journey. I would love to help you. There's so many stages, details to it all. So if you would like to book a call, you can email me, deadmarriagesredeemed@gmail.com. We can kind of figure out where you're at, like what you've been through. Okay, so here's the thing, Roy. You won't. I would, but you won't know. So it's kind of like there is a pattern to it all. But it's one of those things to where, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It would be like somebody that went through it, okay, went through the stages, all that different stuff, examining all the things. Does this make sense? Like, step by step. So in other words, what you want to look at is the cycle of what's going on. So like me, when I work with somebody, I am all up in their business. I'm like in their text messages. They're sending me conversations. The people I work with every week, we overview everything of what's going on with the spouse, what's going on in their life, what God's telling them to do. Like there is so much to this, Roy. It is so much. I mean, it's like one of those things to where, I mean, it's a journey. It really is a journey. And there's a lot of work to be done. Not to mention, it doesn't, I don't like saying this because I am here to encourage, but the process of it is messy. It's so messy, and certain things are to be required. So, for instance, he gives instructions, and a lot of us, how do I put this? A lot of us aren't doing the stuff that is put in front of us. We don't know what he's talking about. We don't know what to do. And if you don't have somebody to help you, it's going to be a lot harder. That depends, Arceli. So basically, it all depends what you're doing. So, like, God could be telling you to do things you're not doing. He could be putting things in front of you that you're not doing. It's weird because I'll talk to my clients, and they'll be stuck in a season for 2 years, and then somebody else might get out of it in 6 to 9 months. So that basically, sometimes they're stuck in it more than 2 years because there's stuff that's required to do in each thing. It's like it's instructions. Does this make sense? Someone in the eye of the storm won't be able to see the end, but the outsiders can. No, not really the outsiders, the people that have been through it, that know like how it went down. It's a messy process. So like for instance, I would tell my coach things and I would be crying like, "Oh my gosh, like this is happening," and stuff. But it actually was meant to happen. And things were meant to be done that I didn't understand. So again, it's one of those things to where it's like you being put in a maze. Imagine being put in a maze and you're with somebody that already worked the maze out. Does that make sense? So basically, Ken, what's going to happen is you are going to see that they no longer have, I don't want to say protection, okay? But instead of seeing them get away with things and seeing like it look like they're whittling their way through things, you will start to see things in their life not go their way. But the enemy's always going to deceive. Okay, I'm glad that makes sense, Roy. But you will start to see that things aren't going their way anymore. But the enemy will try to deceive you by having them catch a good break here and there. But that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Something my husband always said was he wasn't sleeping at all. So you got to understand the enemy's always going to deceive. He's always going to deceive, but that doesn't mean God isn't working. And I told you guys in my video yesterday that I would be rejected by my husband, but yet he would be stalking my TikTok page. This is where you have to understand this is a spiritual battle. Okay, so you're healed and you have peace. That's really good. Still no communication. That's one of those things that something, like in that time, there's something that needs done. I'm not sure since I don't know what's going on, but something needs done before communication can open up. Yeah, there's no sleep, there's no rest, none of it. I'm so happy God brought me to your page, and I look forward to. Oh, sweetheart, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. My wife, too, daughter of Christ. Sometimes I feel like it would be weird to me. I see my prodigal again, like him. Yeah, that's normal, Rose. So what happens is they become a stranger because, I mean, the whole marriage has to become new. It's like the old one never even existed. So it's like you're two new people getting to know each other again. This is why a lot of people fall out of love. That's all right. It's normal. You're not going to be in love with them because first off, love isn't even an emotion, guys. It's not even an emotion. It's a action. So that's how you're going to know if you truly love, because when you fall out of love with your spouse, if you're still having, seeds of love, tough love, whatever it may be, That's how you know you're doing right. If you rejected your kingdom spouse twice and you come to your senses now there. Girl, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Because this whole journey, honey, is about the standard. It's not about the prodigal. This is your journey. They're going to go through their own journey when God wakes them up. They're not woke up yet. So, guys, it's crazy how everybody's on now. Now that I gotta go. Yeah, well, I hope that answers your question, honey. So, yeah, you will fall out of love with them, and you wonder, like, will I ever get these feelings back? It's like you don't even know them anymore. God is gonna rebuild everything, but you gotta trust Him. You gotta trust Him. Man, I am so tired, guys. I'm going to stay on here until it's 30 minutes, about 3 more minutes. So fire the questions, and then whoever gets on here can watch the replay. It's not really a stage, honey. That particular stage, that can happen at any time in the journey. I've had that happen with people a couple months in. I've had that happen with people years in. That just depends. Yes, it's one hard journey. It's one hard journey, but it's one of those things to where it's going to be the best thing you ever went through. And it's not, if it wasn't this, it would just be something else, guys. Oh, I know, Laura. I love you so much, honey. Like, for instance, my mother right now, she's in a whole different journey. You guys are in this journey. She's in a whole different journey. Instead of her going through it like with a marriage dissolving, she was with my dad for 35 years. She was with him since she was 12. They were neighbors. He died, okay, like 2.5 years ago. She's young, very young. My dad was only 47 when he died. So think about, like, her identity was in her marriage. She loved God, but her identity was in her marriage of being a wife, being a mother. Her mother died 3-4 months later, my nanny. You know, really traumatizing, okay? She watched her kids. Me and my brother both went through marriage separations at the same time. Our spouses doing the same thing at the same time. The difference was I got with God. My brother turned to drugs because he couldn't take the pain anymore because his wife became so reprobate minded. She wouldn't let him see his kid or anything. He lost my dad. He felt like he lost everything. So then my mom watched that too. So imagine going through that as a mother, losing your mother, losing your husband, watching your kids suffer. She lost her finances, everything. Right now, she don't have a promise of even what she's going through. She's going through all the same stuff you all are going through and what I've went through. The difference is she's going through full circle restoration, but she don't have a promise. You have a promise of your marriage getting restored. She don't have one. She has to just trust God to get through this, trusting that there's something on the other side. Does this make sense? So she's in the same situation, but there's no promise. It's like she can't see anything. She just keeps going. That's all that you have to just trust. And it's hard. Full circle restoration, though. This is your preparation and your process. That's why we have to understand that it's not about the spouse. I'm so glad that makes sense, honey. I try to make it make sense. If it wasn't your marriage, it would be something else. Maybe it would be a health crisis. You know, there's people out there that get cancer, God forbid. And, you know, they're told they're going to die. But yet God's telling them, don't take chemo, I will heal you. But does that mean that they're going to go to the doctor's office and they're going to say that the cancer's gone? No. They might have to walk 2 to 5 years having that cancer, going through torment until God finally heals them. And then all of a sudden the tumor might disappear. So it would just be something else, and he'd be doing the same thing in full circle restoration that he's doing in your marriage. So if it would just be something else. What if God says let go? When God says let go, that does not mean let go of the marriage. That means let go of it, but don't, like when I say it doesn't mean let go of the marriage, it doesn't mean give up on the whole promise. It means let it go and move on with your life without moving on. But there's work to be done. And that's what I'm doing with a lot of my clients right now. We're getting stuff done. You guys don't have to do it alone. I am more than willing to help. That's why I'm so tired. I mean, like the amount of people, guys. I am more than willing to help you all if you want help. Again, I try to keep my prices very cheap, very affordable. You can email me, deadmarriagesredeemed@gmail.com. I would love to help you. We will make it work. Some people are waiting a long time because it's like really booked, guys, depending on your availability, but I would love to help you. So you don't have to do this alone. So, yes, I hope that helps, guys. So if you would like to join the other YouTube channel, come on over and join. I have another Facebook group too that you can come on over to. It's called, I changed it today to match the ministry name on here. It's called Redeeming the Broken. Come on over and join. It's a Facebook group. It's not marriage based. I want to tell you that right now. It's not marriage based. It's all Christian based stuff. So if you would, that was my first Facebook group. If you would like to come over and join that, it's just called Redeeming the Broken. Come on over. And yeah, I would love to see you on there. And then you already know that the Facebook group for this is Dead Marriages Redeemed. Rose, do I have Instagram? Yes, I do. And it's terrible. I don't know if I can remember my username. And I don't think I can pull it up on the computer. But yes, I do. It might just be under Megan Ayala. You'll have to see. Yeah, I work with a lot of people standing for Kingdom Marriages, Nia. Don't give up because he's going to do it. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. My eyes are falling, guys. You guys probably can tell I am so tired. So anyways, I have to get up early again tomorrow. I have to get up even earlier now to fit everybody in because there is just not enough time in a day. But I wanted to get on here and see you all. So we will be doing 2 movie nights this month. 2. We're going to be watching The Passion of the Christ and another marriage restoration movie. So I hope you guys all can make it. I keep it very cheap. It's $15 per person. It's a 3-hour event. So I hope you guys can make it. The Passion of the Christ is definitely going to be longer. Thank you, Roy. Yes, like, share, subscribe. Anybody that likes, shares, and subscribes, I appreciate you all so much. God wants this to get out there. He has so much on my plate, but whatever the Lord wants. Get some rest. Spend some time with God, guys. I am going to do that right now and hit the hay because I'm an old lady. So anyways, I'm just so tired. So you all are so amazing. Okay, God is going to blow your mind. Full circle restoration is coming. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Good night, everybody. Good night, Tico. Good night, Roy. Good night, Rose. Everybody on here, God bless. Sleep with the angels. And I will see you soon. Shalom.